Hello, Jesse Good here, back from the review, and today we're reviewing a LEGO DC Comics Superheroes 2015 set from the Justice League lineup, and it is set number 76028. It's called the Dark Side Invasion. It has 445 pieces, 4 minifigures, 1 big fig, and retails for $70 MSRP in the United States. But I know you can find this at the moment at Target for $60 from what I've heard. So now let's take a look at the packaging. Alright, so here's the box for the set. You got the front and the back. And then you got 3 instruction booklets and a comic book, which there's this one right here, same as the Green Lantern set or the Gorilla Grodd Goes Bananas. So if you want to see that, I did do a go-through of that in the Gorilla Grodd Goes Bananas set. Then you got 1 instruction booklet, 2, and then 3 altogether with some cool inserts, but nothing too unique to them in terms of advertisements. You know, you got your Lego Movie one and your DC ones, but nothing too new. Alright, so here is the first minifigure, my favorite minifigure of this set, and it is Cyborg. This is the first Cyborg we've gotten in DC Comics sets before, and the first LEGO version, actually. And he looks fantastic. I love how he came out. And he has some great printing that gives him that Cyborg look on his torso, on his legs, and even some great coloring using these flat silver pieces for his leg piece, and his arm pieces are some great touches. His weapon is this little stud blaster right here, which of course if you shoot or push down on that, it suits his stud pretty well. And then for the rest of the minifigure, he has an awesome new helmet hair combo for his Cyborg look right there. And you can see has some nice printing on the bottom right here, as a great printing on the eyepiece, which covers his left or his right eye. And then his hair piece is also very cool that they included that, where it's just this little hair part right here, which is colored black. That looks very nice, and it's kind of thin, and it cuts kind of thin, but it looks good. And for his face print, of course, he is a black comic book superhero, and it's great to get some black licensed minifigures because it's a race that we don't really get much of. We get a lot of white minifigures. It's nice to get some black minifigures, and I'm really happy to have one that doesn't have a mustache or isn't angry, and he has that very happy, joyous look that fits the Cyborg character quite well, and it looks awesome. I love that printing on the front, and this printing right there on the back, which is an angry look, looks great too, and it doesn't have any of those ugly lines that a lot of those licensed minifigures have for his, his facial features, and it just looks very cartoony and fun. So that's how I feel about the Cyborg minifigure. And now let's get on to the next minifigure. So here's Hawkman, who's kind of a lesser known DC superhero, I guess for the common people. And it's kind of surprising to get him, but I love how he came out. I think he's a great minifigure overall. He has some great printing on him and on his legs, and he has a totally new helmet mold altogether that's exclusive to this minifigure. So that's great to get. And that's the same thing with Cyborg, where he also has an exclusive helmet mold. And that just slides onto his headpiece, but you can see his head printing right there is also new. And it goes onto the back. And he uses that kind of design that has his wings flapped up, which uses this little neck piece in the middle, which is translucent. So all you have to do is take off these 2 little studs. And you can see he has that neck piece which goes around his neck and has those 2 little studs right there. If you take that off, you can see his back torso printing. And slipping that back on, I want to show something else that's included in this set, which is a different design than this one right here, where they do give you this one, but they also give you a smaller one, which is more of a folded one. So that's a nice inclusion. All you have to do is put that back on and put this stud right here, as well as this stud right here. And you can see how that works very well, and it has kind of a folded look, and this is probably the version you would want to put in the Javelin, since you have to fold his wings for putting him in the Javelin. It won't damage the wings too much since they're much smaller. And let's put his helmet back on. That is it for Hawkman. And our next minifigure is Green Arrow, who looks fantastic, and it's great to get Green Arrow because he was available as a Comic-Con exclusive minifigure, but this version is different from that version, and he is a very popular character, so it's nice to get him in a wide release set. And he has a nice arrow piece in green, which we haven't gotten before in that color, so that looks really cool. And also, He has some great printing on his torso, which you can't see too well because of this piece right here, which is also great to get. It's the hoodie piece in a dark green color, so it's nice to get that piece in a different color other than Wyldstyle's version. And you can see his face print right there. Looks great. It has some nice, especially some nice coloring. I don't know if you guys can see that too well, but it's like an extra little detail where it looks a little bit murky on the front mask and on the back mask, but it looks great in real life. I think that's a great little touch-up. And his hairpiece is that comb hair in a yellow color, which we haven't gotten it in this color before, so that's very nice to get. And if you take off his head and take off his little hoodie piece right there, you can see the back of his torso, which does have some parts to put his arrows in, so that's a nice printing. And then he has the front part right there, which you can see is a little bit vested. So that's very cool, unique printing to this set. And now let's go on to the next minifigure. Next minifigure is Superman, and I may have said that this is the same one as the Brainiac Attack one in that review, but it isn't because his headpiece is different, but it is the same one as one in the Power Armor Lex sets besides the cape material. So you can see his front printing and his front facial printing and his back facial printing, which makes it different from the one in the Brainiac Attack set because that one has the laser eyes, and his back torso print. Overall, just nice to get Superman, but it would have been cool to get a new exclusive version. Alright, so this is the first Darkseid we're ever getting, and he is a big fig. Not sure if he should have been a big fig because the character isn't really that big, but it is a pretty good big fig in terms of design and printing, because you got some fantastic printing on the middle body part right there, which is a new mold altogether, and on the headpiece right there. But then again, I don't know if he should have really been a big fig, because I like big figs being like, Hulk, which really needed a big fig, but I'm not sure if Darkseid needed one. But you can see his arm piece right here has some great coloring on the top half. And then on his palms right here, they are in blue, which is nice to get those big fig palms in blue. And he is made up of 7 pieces. You got the body piece, 2 pins inside, the arms, and then the palms. So that's it for the Darkseid Big Fig. And now let's go on to Super Jumper. So here's the first vehicle in the set, and it is Darkseid's hover vehicle, which has a very odd look to it. It's not the most pleasing of looks, but it kind of had to be this way because since Darkseid's a big fig, he had to have a vehicle that kind of fits his upright position. So they kind of made that back part right here with these 2 little jumper pieces, and that kind of plays as a play feature as well, which we'll get into in a little bit. But you can see it does have that peculiar design to it. There's some nice pieces on it, like these trans light blue radar dishes on the bottom, and these little half domes, as I call them, or upper dome pieces that are 2x2s in that flat silver color, which are only in one other set. So that's pretty nice to get that, and 2 of them at that. And there are some stickers on it, like on the front right here, and on these 2 little handles right here. Then, of course, in the middle, you can see there is this play feature, which is this ball shooter. And they give you 2 balls to shoot, so you can shoot your 2 balls, and all you have to do is push down on there, and the ball will shoot pretty far. And if you lose one of your balls, then you have an extra ball right here in this middle part, which it holds onto that ball very well, and you won't be losing that ball unless you put it upside down, or even if you put it upside down, you can see it staying on pretty well, so that's pretty cool. But if you lose both of your 2 balls, then I guess you're kind of screwed. Other than that, there is that other play feature, like I said, which all you have to do is put Darkseid on this little stand right here, which, if you're not going to use that play feature, you could put his arms down on those 2 little handlebars and he won't fall over. But if you are going to use that play feature, you're going to want to make sure that he doesn't have his arms on those handlebars. And what you do is you kind of leave him standing like that. You get a super jumper with a minifigure, and you shoot that super jumper and minifigure at Darkseid, so he knocks over like that. So that is a pretty cool play feature, and I like how that came out. Other than that, one last look at the hovercraft vehicle. You can see on the bottom a better look at those trans blue radar dishes. So that's it, and now on to the Javelin build. Okay, so here's a look at the main vehicle of the set, the Javelin, which is huge, and it does have a satisfying size for the price point, which you can see just putting green arrow right there. You can see how big this ship is compared to a single minifigure. So we'll take a look at this ship starting at the front, and it has a great design to it, especially with these curved parts that's seen on the front. What they did was they used some of those swivel hinge pieces in the middle right here, which you can't really see, and it gives it a nice curved look that fits the design of the comics, because, you know, it is the DC superheroes Justice League spaceship, and it does have a nice spaceship design to it that you don't even need to put this exclusively in a DC layout. It can fit well with some other LEGO Space builds. So we'll start out with the front right there, and there's a sticker right here, and there's a sticker right here and here. And on the bottom, it brings us to this first play feature, which has this nice windscreen piece in a neutral gray color, which, because of that, it makes that piece in that color exclusive to the set. So all you have to do is kind of pull down that little windscreen right there, and it will drop 2 bombs, which you can see the designs of the bombs are right here. Identical for both of those, so they're not anything new. And you can just kind of load them back in there and kind of close the hatch. And that hatch actually gives a nice look from the side, which has kind of this nice spaceship-like look that has this kind of flap going up. So that's a pretty cool, that doubles as a play feature and a nice design to it. And then in the middle right here, there's this part right here, which is a cockpit. And if you lift that up, you can see there's 2 seats with some stickers inside that. And you could actually fit all 4 of the heroes in that front cockpit, and then this back cockpit right here, which you'll lift these 2 parts from the back right there. And it reveals the other 2 seats. There's actually this seat on the back right here, which may look a little bit like a standing part because it does kind of play as a play feature. But rest assured, you could still put a minifigure in there. And there's this part right here and this part right here, which are both 2 stickers. There's the wings on the side, which they have a landing mode and a flight mode. So this is a flight mode right here. And if you want to switch to landing mode, all you have to do is, which part is it? Oh, all you have to do is push this part back like this, and it goes to landing mode. So you can land your ship right there quite well. And for the back, you can see there's a little back engine right here. And just to look at the overall bottom, you see all the little contraptions and such right here. Then we'll go to the last part, which is the play features, which we got 2 flick and fire missiles on both sides right here. And all you have to do, of course, right here is push this Technic pin, and it will shoot the missiles like that. Then you got 1 part to kind of launch a minifigure, and in this case it would be a minifigure with a super jumper. So we'll try out Superman, and it's a little bit hard to do, honestly, if you want to get it done, but all you have to do is put Superman like this, kind of slanted right here, slip him into this part, that little standing area on the back, and you have to push this down really fast. So let me see if I can do it really fast and hard. So let me see. I'll kind of put this right here, and ready, set, go. There you go. And Superman goes kind of flying, which is a pretty cool design. And for rare pieces in this set, like I said, on the bottom, there's that nice windscreen in that gray color. There's also this windscreen, which is a different design in that trans blue color, which is nice to get because we've never gotten one in that dark trans blue color before. And there's some nice little circular pieces right here on the wings that are in that trans red color. So that's really cool to get some nice exclusive trans pieces and other colors. So that's pretty cool, and that's really it for the design of this build, and now it's final verdict. So overall, this set is fantastic. The Javelin ship looks great. The back half has some nice play features and a nice inside feature so you could put your minifigure standing around. And then the top half has a great look to it that's faithful to comics with that curved ship design that's very unique and very well done in its execution with some nice hinge pieces. So that looks awesome. Darkseid's vehicle, on the other hand, doesn't look too good in terms of overall aesthetics, but it does have an interesting design to it that I haven't seen really with any other vehicles before, so I guess I could excuse it for that, and it does hold Darkseid as a big fig quite well on there. The minifigures are great as well. I like getting Hawkman, who is an obscure hero, but he does have a great new helmet molding piece and some fantastic printing, which the same could be said with Cyborg because he also has a new helmet molding piece, and he looks fantastic. Darkseid, not sure if he warranted a Big Fig, but the Darkseid Big Fig does have some nice printing. Green Arrow, it's nice to get one that isn't from the San Diego Comic-Con version because this one's so easy to get. And Superman, it would have been nice to get a new one, but it is still nice to get Superman, and this version is not bad at all. So I will give this set an A. I think it really does fit that $70 price point in terms of value, and I just really recommend this set. And that's really it for this review. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.